Hey guys, welcome back to the Archer and Olive channel. If you haven't seen me before, my name is Gracie and I'm one of the Archer and Olive ambassadors. Myself and all the other ambassadors are creating content for you all the time on the Archer and Olive channel, so remember to subscribe for some more tutorials and inspiration. Today I'm going to be showing you how to create a little collage playlist for your junk journal. I love junk journaling, and one of my favorite things to include in my junk journal is playlists or music because I feel like it really highlights what I'm into at a certain moment in time. And as you can tell, my junk journal is getting pretty thick, and that's because I like to include a lot of collage in my journal. It's one of my favorite ways to have some zen alone time and just be creative and crafty. As you can tell, my junk journal is an Archer and Olive Traveler's notebook. I think this is a really unique size, and I feel like the proportions really allow me to play because this isn't a dimension that I usually work in. The one thing that we have to talk about before we head over to my desk to start collaging is what playlist you're going to illustrate in your journal. You can totally pick one that you've already made and just do a visual version of it in your journal, or you can create a completely new playlist specifically for this project. That's what I did. I actually made a new playlist on Spotify that I'm going to create in my journal today. And one thing you can think of when you're making a playlist, especially if you want to add a visual component in your journal, is you can kind of pick things that have a certain theme. So you could pick album covers that all have a similar color scheme, or music that is all about the same topic. You totally don't have to do that, but I feel like it makes it easier to get creative in your journal. So I picked a bunch of songs all by women artists that have very similar color schemes on their album covers. But like I said, be creative. You can do whatever you want. So grab all of your collage stuff, all of your junk scraps, stickers, and let's head over to my desk to get started showing you how to create a little collage playlist. Okay, welcome over to my desk. I'm going to show you a quick walkthrough of all the things that I've collected for this little journal spread because this space is soon going to become very cluttered. I'm a really messy junk journaler, and when I do a spread, the space around me on my desk and on the floor, everywhere just gets really messy. Enjoy the clean view while you can. This is my junk journal. Like I said before, it's a traveler's notebook from Archer and Olive. I actually recently made my little charm for my junk journal. I actually made a TikTok on my own personal account making that if you want to check that out. So like I said, I do like to do collage junk journal spreads when I can. Here are some that I just did for my recent trip to Barcelona, Spain. And I am going to clamp my journal open so that it's ready to work in. Once your journal starts getting really chunky like this, I feel like having clips to hold it open are like necessary. So that's my journal. I also went ahead and I printed out some pictures of the album covers that I wanted to include for this journal spread. You totally don't have to do this. You can actually also do it by like doodling the covers, which I find is really cute too, especially if you're into drawing. And I also printed out this code for the Spotify playlist that I made. Maybe you can scan your screen and then go listen to the playlist. But yeah, these are all the albums that I'm including songs from in this spread. I also pulled out some like pieces of junk that I have. I have this gigantic bin in my room where I keep like junk and scraps and stuff to use for later spreads. This is like some tissue paper for my birthday present. This was paper that was wrapped something that I bought in Spain, I think. I don't know what this is, just like some brown paper. And then this is like an invoice from Bagu from when I bought some packing cubes. I also have so many pieces of scrapbook paper. I have a bunch of these little books of scrapbook paper that I have used over the years, and I'm trying to slowly but surely make my way through them. I have the essentials, which to me are scissors, tape, and glue. I have my trusty jar of washi tape, and then I have all of my stickers. So I have this Ransom Note sticker book, which is just letter stickers, and then this is my Archer and Olive sticker binder holder that has all of my other stickers in it. So we will definitely pull some of these out to add to the spread as well. And with that being said, I feel like it's time to get creative. I am gonna do this in a very systematic way because I want to make sure that I can fit everything on here. So as you can see, I have 8 album covers, and I'm basically gonna make a little, I guess you could call it like a pod or a cluster of each one. So it's gonna be like this mounted onto a little scrap of paper that has maybe some decorations, some tape, stickers, and like the names of the songs on it. And then I'll glue that onto the page, like in little clumps, so that I can make sure that they all fit on the page. I might just put it in fast forward and then chat to you on voiceover while I do it, okay? Let's do that. When I started working on this spread, I really tried to just go with the flow. That was my strategy going into this. And honestly, that is usually my mindset when working on any junk journal project, because I just kind of want it to be like a creative space for me, just like a free space where I can do whatever I want and not like feel pressured about what I'm making. And so for each of these, I really did want to kind of match the vibe of like the cluster with the stickers and the washi tape that I was using to the vibe of the album, because I feel like that is the point of like doing it in separate chunks so that you can kind of, I don't know, personalize each chunk to the album without having to like make an overall theme for the spread in general. Like, so for example, this one I'm doing here is some songs from the album Charm by Clairo, which I've been obsessed with recently. And I feel like hers is more kind of like neutral and, I don't know, like moody vibes, which is why I went for that like brown paper background. And then I used a black and white washi tape and a cute little sticker that I had of some glasses. And then the next one that I'm doing is a Memoir of a Sparkle Muffin by Suki Waterhouse, which I'm also obsessed with right now. And that one I feel like is more like fun, funky, so I used that like floral print paper, and I used some fun like stickers and tape on it, and I used my gold gel pen to like add some details on there, which I don't know, I feel like it just fits that vibe of the album. And I did that for every single one. So this next one I'm doing is Beyonce Cowboy Carter, and I did that like kind of paisley bandana pattern and some other details on top that kind of give the country vibe. I feel like all of the album covers that I picked for this kind of have a similar vibe. Maybe not all together, but I feel like each one kind of has a pair that matches its color scheme. So like the Beyonce album cover is like black and white and like some red, and the Suki Waterhouse cover is black and like green and purple. So I feel like those kind of go together. And then this one, which is Imaginal Disc by Magdalena Bay, which I'm obsessed with right now. I love that album. That one kind of matches the Short and Sweet deluxe cover by Sabrina Carpenter. And I feel like that is a cool way to kind of tie things together. Even if there's not really like an overall theme that you're going with, just having a couple things that kind of match together color-wise can really like elevate it. Like this one I'm doing here, Remy Wolf, kind of matches the Clairo cover just because they have kind of neutral, warm tones. I don't know. I just feel like they look good together. But yeah, these are all the ones that I picked. So I did Imaginal Disc, Magdalena Bay, Cowboy Carter, Clairo, Suki Waterhouse, Remy Wolf. That's her album. I think it's called Big Ideas Only, or Big Ideas or something. And then I have Sabrina Carpenter Short and Sweet, Brat by Charlie XCX, of course, which I'm still obsessed with. So far into the future after it came out, I'm still obsessed with it. And that is my little playlist. You can listen to this on Spotify if you want. It's on my Spotify. You can scan, if you open the Spotify app, you can scan that QR code that I made, and it should pull up the playlist. And yeah, that's my little playlist. Okay, so here I have made all of my little clusters for each of my songs, and now I'm basically going to arrange them on the page. I actually think I am going to do this order because this is the order that they come in on my playlist that I made on Spotify. And I'm gonna glue each of these little chunks down, and then I'll probably add some more stickers on top to like further decorate. Let us glue everything down. For this last step, I feel like it might be useful if you use a tape runner for this. I do have a tape runner and I usually use that for my junk journal, but it's out right now and I didn't want to go refill it. So gluing is fine, but that's what I had to do for this one. Tape runners usually work a little bit better. But this is my little playlist. I'm obsessed with how it came out. It looks so cute, and I would love to hear what music you're into right now. You can drop it in the comments. And here is my final little playlist spread. I feel like it looks so cute. I went back in and I added this little title that says now playing because these are like my favorite songs right now by these artists. And I added some extra stickers, and I added, of course, my little Spotify QR code so I can listen to it. I really like how this turned out. I don't really know how I pictured it coming out in my head, but I really tried to decorate each of these little clusters like to the artist. Like I did these little polka dots for Sabrina. This little paper background for Beyonce kind of looks like a bandana, like paisley pattern, which I feel like is fitting for Cowboy Carter. I don't know, I just feel like it looks so cute. If you decide to do this spread, I would love to see a picture of it or a video. You can tag me or send it to me as a DM on Instagram or on TikTok. Thanks so much for hanging out. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and junk journaling for a little bit today. If you want to see some more from me personally, you can follow me over on my corner of the internet, which is at Gracie Creates on YouTube and on Instagram, and at Groovy Gracie Creates on TikTok. Remember to subscribe to the Archer and Olive channel. Myself and the other ambassadors are back here all the time giving you great tutorials and inspiration. And I'll see you next time. Bye!